All right, you ready? You're excited? Are you excited? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you excited?
I thought you were gonna say 3, 2, 1, and I could go. Let's jam.
All right. That did not work out for you. But are you ready? You're gonna do your first list ever. We're gonna do Eric's. Well, what'd you call your list?
Eric's top 10 favorite anime, I suppose. Also,
Sure.
I already made a list with the Star Wars one.
What?
You don't remember the Star Wars episode?
But this is your first solo list.
Oh, okay.
This is
Yeah,
you.
sure.
This is all you. This is gonna be you. This is you. You got the spotlight. This is your show.
All right, this is my show. Welcome to my show.
Wait. Welcome to the newest episode of Super Dario Brothers. Super Dario Brothers. New challenger approaches.
It's a me,
Dario.
Eric. Stop it! Give me the mic!
All right, so now you can begin.
Hello, welcome to my show.
Wait, before that, any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at Dario the Show on Instagram or at SuperDarioWorld. Do you want anybody to find? And do you
In
want?
my show, we don't have Instagram. We don't have none of that. We have hentai.
All right.
We have anime titties. That's what we have.
We have Discord, baby.
Yeah, we have. What do you call it? We have blackjack and hookers. That's what it is.
There you go. Cocaine, blackjack, and hookers. That's all we need. That's all we need. All right.
But yeah, play your stuff now.
But yeah, if anybody wants to find the podcast, just go to Super Dario World on Facebook. I upload the links to my regular podcast there, and for this podcast there, the best place for you to find anything. Also, the YouTube channel, Super Dario World. I'm trying to keep everything as easy as possible. So, Eric, this is your first list. You have one big objective here, okay? This is your first time doing it. I don't know if you know this is the objective, but this is what professionals do. So, you have one very clear objective, and that's you want to sell your show, all right? You're going to tell us about shows. You have to sell it to us. So you have to assume that nobody knows what the fuck you're talking about. So you got to tell us what the show's about, and then you have to tell us why it's in that spot on your list, okay? Those are your two main objectives, all right?
Okay, that should be simple enough,
All right.
I suppose.
Okay, so take the lead. There you go. This is all you, brother. I'm just going to sit back, relax. And also, this can't be another 2 fucking hours. I want to keep it at like 20 minutes, 30 tops. Because I got stuff to do.
All right, tell me if I'm going too long. But first off, if this podcast ever ends up making, actual money, we'll happily open up like an OnlyFans or something where we can, show you like our top 10 hentai and all that sort of stuff.
All right. Well, first off, get closer to the mic because your levels are really low.
Oh my god.
Take this seriously.
All right, there we go.
All right, so hit it.
All right. So
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Let's jam. Even though it's backwards.
Well,
spoilers, Cowboy Bebop is not on the list, and it's because I haven't finished it.
What? Okay, all right, so this is your favorite of all time?
I said favorites. I never said it's not going to be the best, quote unquote, whatever that means.
All right, so you haven't finished what everybody argues that it might be the best of all time.
Honestly, it's only because I started watching it on Blu-ray because you owned it.
Yeah.
And I didn't end up bringing my PS3 to the new place where we're living.
But I have a PlayStation here. I have an Xbox here.
Yeah, but I don't like using your stuff.
That is
I like
true.
playing your games, but not using your stuff.
All right, that's fair enough. All right, now you can go.
Yeah. So, I am going to add a slight caveat at the beginning because we did have this argument about
bullshit
we did
already.
have this argument before.
All right, what's the caveat?
About movies.
Okay, we said best anime shows.
Okay, but it'll be clearer as we go on with the list.
Okay.
Fine, whatever. At number 10, I have Anohana, the flower we saw that day. Anohana it's kind of like a slice of life. It's not really a romance. It's about a group of friends who are together as kids playing around, and one of them ends up dying in an accident. And the show starts with the main character in when he's in high school, and basically all of his friends they all kind of ended up going their separate ways after their friend died.
All right, I need to stop you right there. Because I just finished watching Anohana. And first off, I watched it after you recommended it. First off, fuck you. Fuck you. That's one of the most brutal things I've ever seen in my life. It is.
You're welcome.
It is so beautifully tragic. I loved every second of it. And, dude, it is such a great. I'm offended that it's number 10 for starters, because it's a beautiful way to tell a very tragic story, and also you're saying it in the most complicated way possible. You need to cut it down to like 2-3 sentences. It could just be.
I didn't know I was gonna have to summarize a thing. I thought I was just gonna.
Well, you need to tell. It's like the story of a guy who's seeing, who may or may not be seeing the ghost of a friend that he lost when he was little, and the ghost is trying to get him to be friends with their old friends. That would be like
that's why I have you here.
But I haven't seen all the shows on your list. I need to clarify this. I'm going to go through every single show on your list, and then I'll criticize you on it. And I'm already extremely offended that Anohana is number 10. I'm very offended. Maybe it's because it's still so raw. I literally, 2 hours ago, I finished watching that shit. It's
great,
brutal. It is brutal. It is beautiful. It's already on my Amazon cart. I'm gonna buy that Blu-ray.
I already own
it. I want the Blu-ray. I also want to watch the movie, because apparently there's a movie of it. That's like an epilogue. It's honestly one of my favorite things I've ever seen of all time. So number 10 is just insulting. So I'm gonna have to go through this whole thing, and I'm gonna re-rank your stupid fucking list.
Honestly, it might be because I watched it such a long time ago. I just, a lot of the details, they're a little bit fuzzy, but I do remember it had a big emotional impact.
You know what it is? If you saw it a really long time ago, you probably hadn't experienced much death yet. I mean,
that might have also been a factor.
Yeah. Well, to me, it's like, we lost Kukita, who was our Nana, and then like I still have the Shelby thing kind of raw, and so it's like I have had a lot of death in my mind lately, and so just watching that is like, ugh, the tragedy of a unlived life. It's heartbreaking.
It's a gut punch.
It's a heartbreaking show.
Okay, it's only 11 episodes, I believe.
Yeah, 11 episodes. Great.
Yeah, so
it's long enough for you to actually for them to tell the story fully. And the thing that I love,
you can watch in one night.
True.
Honestly.
And to me,
that's how I watched it.
To me, the thing that I loved about it is that it does not pull a single punch. It does not pull a single punch. It just goes for it every single time. Even when you think it's all right, it's about to be like a soft episode, it's not. It throws every single punch it has. Its objective is to get everything out, and it does. So I loved it. I'm very offended by this.
Who was the best girl?
Dude.
We're getting political, baby.
This conversation's over. No, the best girl obviously is Menna, which makes it even more tragic.
I like the glasses chick, but that might just be my thing.
Yeah, you're a weirdo. But no, the ghost girl is the best one.
Maybe it's because I'm not into lollies like you, but okay.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Don't talk about my love for lollies.
Yeah, everybody loves lollies. Anyway, continue.
All right, fine.
I'm sorry for liking short girls. I'm sorry.
All right,
Sue
I
me.
forgive you.
Thank you.
You weird man.
You freaking Amazon lover.
This might be my most controversial.
Number 9. Okay.
Well, the pick itself is not controversial, but where I placed it.
Let me guess. You know what? No, I'm not gonna guess. I have a guess already, and say it, and I'll see if I guessed correctly.
Well, how am I gonna know if you guessed correctly?
Let's see. How can I do this? Does that make any sense?
No, not at all.
Does that make any sense? You know what? This is boring for the people listening, so just say it.
Oh, you're not recording the video? Oh, fair enough.
No, because your camera is terrible.
Number 9, Neon Genesis Evangelion.
What? Honestly, I did not think you were going to go there. But for the people, in the nosebleed section, explain what that is.
How the fuck do you explain Evangelion in like one sentence? It's a guy who is in a robot.
Okay, listen. I need to explain something. Don't tell me what happens. Tell me what it's about. All right.
Teenagers and giant robots fighting aliens.
I guess, yeah, a mech show.
A mech show, and towards the second half, it starts getting into more like psychological,
Okay.
like philosophical,
All right.
every type of ethical.
Yeah, with a lot of biblical undertones, even though you say it has nothing to do with it.
I didn't say it had nothing to do with it. I said I'm not. We can have a whole episode on Evangelion if you want.
We will. Oh, we will.
But I'm gonna explain my reasoning as to why it's number 9, because it is one of my favorites of all time,
and
I was considering it being like,
and it's a fan favorite.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be like top 3 or 2, but I think I had to put it at number 9 because you have to watch the movie,
Okay.
in order for it to be as good as it is.
All right.
The end of
Because
Evangelion,
it's one of the greatest endings of all time. Yes, the end of Evangelion.
yes, but not the end of the anime itself.
All right.
The first 25 episodes of Evangelion, if you only watch that, you're going to be like, what the fuck is this?
What did I just watch?
They ran out of animation budget and they started showing like stock footage of Japan. All of a sudden people are like, like in trains, and there's a cat, and everybody's clapping and they're congratulating Shinji for whatever reason.
Started doing black and white for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah, it was bizarre. I don't recommend people skip the final 2 episodes, but they don't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, if you have to finish the story through a different medium, in this case the movie, it makes it so that the actual anime is, it takes it down a couple notches.
All right, it waters it down a bit to you.
Yeah. And I mean, okay, if you put Evangelion and the movie The End of Evangelion together, then yeah, it would be like one of my favorites of all time. I've seen it a bunch of times. But if I'm going to be as objective as possible, the anime itself, I have to put it at number 9.
Number 9? Okay. And so now...
Is that fair? Is that fair?
It's your list. Honestly, it's your list.
What is my reasoning? Do you see what I mean?
I think you're a fool because I associate the movie with the series. It's not like we're talking about the rebuild of Evangelion. We're talking about the series as a whole, and that's
but it's
how
a whole
it
different thing that you have to watch.
I know, but that's the intended ending for that series. It's not like it's not like they made an extra movie to that's a separate entity. The movie is a part of the series. But
okay, just for example, do you remember the show Angel?
Yes.
Angel is an incredible show, right?
Yep.
Completely garbage ending.
It left it kind of.
Unless you
hanging.
Read the comics.
It left you. No, it's very different. It's very. I would actually say it's closer to Firefly, because Firefly, the show was left unfinished, and then they made a movie to finish the show.
Sure, but that's a completely different entity from the show.
But they adapted.
It's the intended thing, but
exactly. Well, the thing is, we ran out of money. We can't do this. We can't do what we want. And then they got the money and they adapted. So to me, I see your point, and it's your list. You can do whatever you want. I'm just saying that to me, I would have kept them together. But the biggest question is,
I put it in top 10.
I get it. But here is the big question: who's the best girl?
Ray.
Why?
Ah, shit.
Explain.
I don't know. I'm into blue hair, I suppose.
Blue hair, red eyes. I don't know.
She's kind of creepy. I like that.
It turns
There's that
me
episode
on.
where she's naked.
Oh, okay. Right?
You know
what? Fair enough. Move
I
on.
used to like Asuka more, but as I grow older, I don't like Tsunderes as much.
To me, it depends on the tsundere. But anyway,
it depends.
First
Not
off,
Asuka.
and you were wrong. The best girl is Misato. Anyway, move on.
She's kind of a pedo, but okay. That's fair.
That's fair.
They're all damaged.
Yeah. Actually, I like this game way better than picking the anime, picking the best girl. That's actually fun.
Yeah. Well, this one you're not going to know yet, but it is one of the ones I recommended. Number 8, Clanad.
Clanad, explain what it's about.
Okay.
You know what? You just go to IMDb and look at the summary if you can't do it. Honestly,
It's a romance anime about that has a few supernatural undertones about a guy who's helping out a bunch of girls with different problems,
All right.
and uh, he develops relationships in there, in one particular relationship.
Is it a harem?
So it's based off a visual novel,
Okay.
which you can kind of end up with whatever girl you want.
All right.
But you can tell that all the girls love the main character.
Yeah.
But there's
That's
the
the
one
fantasy.
main girl who ends up getting the guy.
Is it the first girl thing?
I watch the show.
All right, fine. I'll watch the show. All right.
And the second half of Clanad is the reason why I put it on this list.
Okay.
Because it's sort of like a time skip thing after the events of the first half, where he finally solidifies his relationship. And then in the second half, you get to see something you almost never get to see in romance anime, which is the romance, the relationship,
Uh-huh.
like them actually interacting as a couple, and whatever happens then, and trials and tribulations. It gets really fucking sad at one point.
All right. Actually, that's super interesting because I believe we talked about this before, not on the podcast, that the goal. All right, there's a rule in TV and there's a rule on film. On film, the rule is you got to get the guy and the girl together. In TVs, you got to keep them apart because usually, as soon as a couple gets together, it becomes boring. There's exceptions to that rule. The best example I've always put is Chandler and Monica. Chandler and Monica became better once they were together. So you're saying that Clanad is the exception to the rule as well. They're actually better together than they were apart. They're more interesting together.
Yes, because I would actually say the second half of the show is the better half.
Okay. All right.
Because of it. Maybe it's just because I really enjoy the characters. Maybe it's because I watched it at the right time. In my life or whatever. Like I was in high school. It's a high school romance anime thing.
Mm-hmm. Teen dramas are always great. Doesn't matter how old you are.
That is true. I love the OC.
Thank you for going immediately. Thank you for going immediately into the OC, and you can continue saying it. California, California, here we come. Okay, continue.
All right. Overall, I don't want to get too deep into the second half of Clanad. All I will say is the first half might not be for everybody.
Okay.
Like it is more of the weaker half, and it has more of the typical anime tropes. Like, every girl is kind of like an archetype of,
the tsundere, the yandere, and everybody.
Yeah, all that stuff. So a lot of people can't get past that, and it's one of those, you have to get past this hurdle. You might enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed it, but some people don't, to get to the really meaty part of the story, which is Clanad after story, the second half.
All right.
And it is long. Like the whole thing will be like 50 episodes. So it's the longest one so far.
All right. Continue. What are we? Number 7?
Yeah, number 7. What was my number 7? I do have a list.
All right. I can see the list.
You can hear it too.
But the thing that worries me is that you have the list in your hands and you can't read it.
I have it in different orders, and I've done a lot of crossing out.
Okay.
Number 7, Code Geass, Lelouch of the Rebellion.
All right. Explain.
Why did I pick a bunch of shows that are hard to explain?
I don't know.
I'm gonna actually try the IMDb thing, just for variety, right?
Sure. I mean, honestly, they have to give you a summary of a show everywhere, and so IMDb I always think is the best one because it's made by industry professionals.
Oh, okay. This is actually pretty good. After being given a mysterious power to control others, an outcast prince becomes the masked leader of the rebellion against an all-powerful empire.
Interesting. So what makes it worthy of being above all the other ones, above Evangelion, the great Evangelion?
Okay.
I'm sorry, Neon Genesis Evangelion.
So the main character, whose name is Lelouch, which is a funny name, he, like it says, is an outcast prince who lives in a high school, obviously. And there's this like world government who's like it's basically all of America, but it's called Britannia,
Okay.
and they've taken over the world. And there's this whole like political backstory and like a lot of world building if you actually look into the thing.
Mm-hmm.
But this whole thing is basically like the Empire of Britannia has taken over what was Japan in the future.
Uh-huh.
And Lelouch, the main character, obtains this superpower.
Again, you're telling me what happens on the show. You have to tell me what makes it special.
It's like
it's a lot of world building.
It's the crux of it. He obtains this power called the Gias.
Okay.
And the Gias basically makes it so that everybody who he sees eye to eye, he can tell them a command that they have to do absolutely.
So is it similar to Death Note? That if he writes...
It is very, very similar to Death Note.
Okay.
In that regard. He's like a mastermind type of character who is very morally dubious. And the difference is that, spoiler, Death Note is not on my list. And the reason is because Death Note's ending sucks balls.
Oh, it's one of the worst things of all time. One of the best first halves of all time. If it would have ended at the halfway point, it would probably be on this list, yes? It would be high on this list. It's the greatest game of cat and mouse ever.
But the difference is that Code Geass might have one of the best endings I've ever seen in an anime.
Weird. I don't know if you heard this when I said it on my podcast when I was talking about endings, that the beginning is what keeps you there, but the end it's what actually gets you interested in the show, but the ending is what keeps it in your heart forever.
It's about how you leave them, folks.
It's about how you leave them. Anyway, so you're saying the reason why it's on the list is it has one of the greatest endings of all time?
Yes. And you may think that his superpower is like really overpowered, you know, like he can control people if he can see them eye to eye.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, he can only use it on every single person only one time.
Okay.
So that brings a whole bunch of things that if he uses it by accident on somebody, it's like he's done. He can never use it on that person again.
Okay. Caveats? And
it's overall like it's got a bunch of like battle strategies and whatnot because there's like mechs.
Uh-huh. What?
It's a surprisingly epic show.
How long is it?
54 episodes.
Oh wow. All right. And it has a great ending.
It does have a great ending.
I believe it's already on my Netflix list.
It's
by the way, Anohana
show.
is on Netflix. I highly recommend you watch it. It's a gut punch, but afterwards you can watch something like Code Geass, which apparently sounds fun.
Yeah, and also Anohana is really short.
Yeah,
which is it has its benefits.
True.
Okay, at number 6, I actually have I think it might be the newest anime in my list. It's called A Place Further Than the Universe.
Great title. That is
I don't know
great
the Japanese title. Let me just look it up.
I don't know, but
for the purists,
to me, I'm really into titles. Like if something has a bad title, I'll probably skip it. That is a great fucking title for a show. Now, what's it about?
All right, for the purists out there, the title is Sora Yori Mo Toi Basho.
For that one guy who was screaming his lungs out, how dare he fuck up that title?
Yeah, but he's like, yeah, Eric, that's my boy.
That's my homie.
He said the thing.
he spoke the language.
Okay, this one is super easy to explain.
First off, how new is it?
2018.
All right, okay, so a couple years. All right.
Yeah. This one's super easy to explain. It's about 4 high school girls who want to go to Antarctica.
All right. Fair enough.
And it's about their journey there. There's I'm not going to get into spoilers or anything. There's like everybody has their own personal reasons why they want to go, and it's kind of like a self-discovery thing, and it's about friendship. The animation is beautiful. I'm going to get more into this with my top picks, but it's one of those shows where it's about the characters, man. You just love the characters. You just want to see them succeed at whatever it is they're doing.
Okay.
Like so, you personally might think, I think going to Antarctica is a little bit silly, but you like these characters and you want to see them succeed at what they're doing.
The question is, does it make you want to go to Antarctica?
fuck yeah.
Penguins, you crazy?
Dude, I want to go to Antarctica ever since I saw that Metallica show.
No, true.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That sounds fun. Actually, it sounds pretty enjoyable. How long is it?
It's also pretty short. It's 13 episodes.
All right. And so what would you describe this? This is not a slice of life. This is a character piece, right?
Yeah, it's
a comedy?
I guess kind of slice of life. Not that comedy. It's fairly realistic.
Okay, so it's a drama.
It's fairly grounded. It's not very tropey.
Is it like an
The
adventure?
characters are very relatable.
It's like an adventure drama?
It's kind of adventure, kind of, it's about the journey, not the destination kind of thing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I respect that. So it's like the Dark Tower.
Sure, without Stephen King and cocaine.
And what's the point? What's
so
the fucking
point?
point?
It's a piece of shit. You're right.
You know what? This list is over. We're done. Call over.
I don't like this anymore.
Exactly.
So that one is the newest show
right.
that I have on my list.
Number 6, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So just to give a little bit of context, I started watching anime around 2010 or so. And
that is a bold-faced lie, because you would watch the cartoons when we were at home.
Which cartoon? Well, you mean like, okay, the first anime I watched, I think, was probably Pokemon or Dragon Ball Z or those anime that you don't even know they're anime.
Yeah, but you did watch them.
To you, they're just cartoons, right?
Yeah.
But when I started first looking for specifically Japanese animation,
when you became a man of culture. I'm sorry.
When I became a fucking weeb.
Man of the world.
When I finally discovered what Bible Black means.
Oh, dude, no. Don't get into Bible Black here.
You're right. This is not the OnlyFans.
You already spoiled it for everybody.
And that's a little, what do you call it? Teaser. And, but yeah, I started watching, like, specifically looking for Japanese animation around 2010. And I would say I kind of stopped at around 2015.
Mm-hmm.
And I've only recently started getting back into it. So there's like the most recent years, I've actually missed out on almost everything.
Okay. Is there any particular reason why you stopped? Was it puberty?
No, in 2015 I was 19.
So puberty?
Probably. No, I just got busy, and after a while you do sort of burn out if you just constantly watch.
I've always said
everything. Like I was always watching everything.
To me,
it's like if you watch bad anime,
oh yeah,
that wears down.
Yeah, no. To me, the issue has always been that if you watch it in Japanese, having to read the fucking subtitles the whole time is exhausting. So
that's why I'm learning Japanese.
Well, there you go. Move on. Number, what is it, 5?
Yes, my top 5.
All right, top 5. So do a quick recap of from 10 to 6.
Okay. How long have we gone, by the way?
We're under 30 minutes.
Look at that. Beautiful.
God.
All right. At number 10, I have Anohana, the flower we saw that day.
Which is on Netflix, and I highly recommend it.
Yes. I'll just go like it's 11 episodes, short and sweet, and it'll make you cry.
Beautiful and tragic.
Number 9, Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Which is also on Netflix, the whole thing, even with the movies.
Yes. It's 25 episodes, and then the movie, End of Evangelion. Well, you have to watch the movie.
There's 2 movies. One that
one is a recap.
Yeah, it's a recap, and it actually helps explain some stuff. Because you'll be really confused by the end of the series. You'll be very confused. So
I guess it's kind of worth it to have the recap just before you watch End.
First off, the recap, which is what is it, Death and Rebirth? It's just Rebirth. Anyway, it's one of the best editing jobs I've ever seen in my life. It is great. A great work of editing alone. So I recommend it for that. And then it does explain some stuff leading into the end of Evangelion.
Mm-hmm.
Continue.
What was after Ava? Number 8 is Clanad and Clanad After Story, which is just the second season.
Okay.
That one's on the longer side. I think it was like 50 episodes.
Also on
total.
Netflix, now that I think about it.
Yeah, I don't know if is After Story on Netflix too.
I think the 2 seasons were there.
Season 2, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's 25 episodes and 25 episodes.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one.
Yeah. That one is also it's more on the romance side, and then Anohana, which is more about friendship, and it'll also make you cry.
Okay.
Unless you got no soul.
It sounds like you just like being depressed so far. Because all those sound like depressing.
You know, only 2 anime in this list have actually made me gotten me teary.
Really?
And it was not Anohana, actually.
I'm shocked. Anohana got me. It got me hard.
Okay,
But then again, I've actually experienced death, unlike you when you saw it.
Well, to me, it's also maybe it's because I watched it like late at night, and so it was like 3 a.m. when I finished, and I just went to bed.
Maybe I saw it in the daytime. It was early.
Yeah, could. Or maybe it's just because, you know, like, for example, Clanad was one of those shows that like got to me, but it was because I was with those characters for a long time.
And I think it's also that you probably could relate more to those characters. I don't see you really relating to any of the characters in Anohana.
Probably at the time, yeah.
Yeah.
And the other one that actually got to me was A Place Further in the Universe.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You could relate to a Japanese girl who wants to go to Antarctica.
It was more about what happens and their motivation and stuff. And no spoilers. No spoilers.
Let's say the spirit of adventure.
It's about the character arc and the journey of one character in particular that got to me.
Okay, I'm gonna watch that. I'm gonna watch that, and I'm gonna guess which character it was.
It's gonna be pretty fucking obvious.
Like it's gonna take me a while, but we will revisit this list.
All right, fine.
So make sure you don't forget that.
And we're gonna do an episode also about your list.
Sure, why not?
All right, and then I can watch those.
There you go.
And give you a bunch of shit.
I'm gonna pick the longest ones, like the long One Piece.
Fuck you! I've seen it all.
Ah, shit!
You punk!
In my face, in my fucking face. I'm gonna pick the worst ones just to make you watch them. Then
I've probably seen them too.
All right,
I've seen it all. What was it? What number was I on?
So you were recapping the top 10, the from 10 to 6.
Oh, all right. 10 Anohana, 9 Evangelion, 8 Clanad, 7 Code Geass, and 6 Place Further in the Universe.
All right. So let's top 5.
All right, top 5, and this is where anime gets weird with their titles.
Okay.
Because my top 5 is called White Album 2. Okay.
I remember this.
First off, it's not related to the Beatles.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunate. But it is about music.
Okay.
And there is a White Album 1, but that show is a piece of shit. It's an absolute piece of dog shit.
But it's completely unrelated, right?
It's completely unrelated, other than it happens in the same universe.
So it would be closer to like an anthology series,
I suppose. Like, for example, okay, the only relation that it has to the original show, I think, I don't know, I didn't finish it. In the original White Album, they were making a song called White Album.
Mm-hmm.
And in White Album 2, in White Album 2, they have that song exists in the world and you can hear it and it's like a hit, but you never interact with the characters from the first show. It's a completely different thing.
Okay, different story, different everything. It just exists in the same universe.
Honestly, I wasn't even gonna watch it because I thought it was a sequel, and I was like, everybody was recommending it. It's so fucking good, it's underrated. It's like, I mean, if I didn't like the original, why would I like the sequel? It's like, it's not a sequel, it's just the name. It's the name.
Okay. And what's it about?
Okay, this one is also a romance anime in high school, of course.
Of course. Dude, you don't have to justify teen dramas. Teen dramas are always the best.
I know, it's just funny that honestly, I would probably have to specify if it was a romance anime not in high school.
Yeah, especially if it's we're talking anime, everything's in a fucking high school.
Yeah.
And their high schools are really fucking weird, but what's it about?
Okay, it's basically it's not that complicated. It's a love triangle.
Ooh, love triangles are good. They're fun.
Yeah.
Is it a 2 guy or 2 girl?
Of course it's 2 girls.
Oh. Okay.
It's this guy who joins the music club in his school, and he ends up forming like this little group where he plays guitar, one of the girls plays piano, and the other girl sings. It's not that complicated of a show. It's just it's about the characters, and it feels very real and very grounded.
Okay,
And
so
it has one of my favorite scenes in any romance anime ever.
is it an orgy?
No,
Is it a romantic orgy?
but it does involve intercourse,
Oh,
which is rare for anime. Right?
It is really weird. It is really weird. All right,
They actually do get romantically involved.
interesting. Thank God. Okay, all right. So that's actually a big thing. That's something that really annoys me. Like, oh no, I'm shy. I can't touch her. No, I can't express my feelings. Just stop being a little bitch and do it. Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, and one of the reasons that it made the list for me, and it might be just because I'm a musician, which for those who didn't know, I'm a musician.
Well, he tries to be.
Well, I play music.
I make sounds.
I'm hoping to record an album by the end of the summer.
Did you not hear the sing California?
California,
Go for it.
here we come. Oh.
All right. Okay. Continue.
I am hoping to have an album by the end of the summer, but whatever.
And I'm hoping to make a video of it.
That'd be great. I'll plug it here. But yeah, it's the one of the reasons that it made the list for me is that the end is not. I'm not gonna say it's a plot twist because it's not, but there's a musical plot twist.
I am completely lost. I've
You're
never
gonna
heard
be
that
completely
in my
lost until you watch it. It's a musical plot twist.
life. Like
That's all I can say about it.
a musical plot. I don't even understand what that means.
But
I'm
you
intrigued.
absolutely will.
I am intrigued.
Yes.
All right.
And when you see it, you'll be like, that's what you meant.
And so
I can't tell you what it is.
all right. So and does that plot twist is the thing that makes it better than the Evangelions, than the Anohanas?
Oh, it's what gives it the chef's kiss, Mwah,
Okay,
you know?
So all right, that's extra fun. So I'm gonna watch.
I saw that final episode and I was like, oh my god, I even did the look. Mwah, you know?
All right, I'm gonna watch this.
Goodbye.
I'm gonna watch this. And first off, I will tell you if I missed that or if I thought it was stupid. And second, we will discuss which one was the better of the two girls, I guess.
Oh, there's no doubt who's the best girl in this one, but
We'll
you're not
see.
gonna-
We'll see. You have weird taste in women, man. You have very weird taste in women.
I'm pretty sure we're gonna see eye to eye on this one.
You know, there's only been one moment where I think we've agreed on the best girl of a show, and you just
We
didn't
can make a top 10 best girls.
Later on. I need to go through a lot of shows first, but continue.
What was the one where we actually agreed?
Well, you agreed posthumously or however you say, but you just did it
after I
first.
died.
No. How would you call it? After the fact. You agreed after the fact years later, and it was School Days. No, not School Days.
No.
It was the one with the weird.
Oremo.
There you go. That one.
Yeah. I did change my mind on that one, but I don't know. No, you
At
like
fir-
Misato. That's right.
At first, you were very adamant about one, and then years later, you were like, you know what? You were right. You were right. When you're right, you're right.
That one I did change my mind.
And, you know, kudos to you. It takes a big man to admit that. You know, years later. Anyway,
Yes.
I would have taken it to my grave. But continue.
This next pick is hard to explain in like the vein of almost an Evangelion.
Okay, it did go into IMDb.
I'm here. Okay, I'm trying to see if this is okay. This is pretty damn accurate. So this show, number 4, is called Shinsekai Yori,
La tuya.
which means from the new world.
Okay, why didn't you just say that?
Because I like Shinsekai Yori.
Okay, from the New World, and what's it about?
Okay. In a post-apocalyptic world set thousands of years after our era, the remaining humans, now with telekinesis, live in a seemingly peaceful society, but dark secrets of the past will soon be discovered by a small group of friends.
Interesting. I'm not liking it from the get-go because I don't like telekinetic stuff, but what makes it special?
It's
Again, not what makes it special. What makes it better than an Evangelion?
I've already said the reason Evangelion's so low is just because of the format.
All right,
I suppose.
what makes it better than Clannad? Because Clannad, I hear, is also iconic. So this is like a sci-fi fantasy, right?
Yes, it's very philosophical too. It's I don't know how to explain without getting into like spoilers.
Just think of what's the reason? Was it the animation? Was it the characters? It makes you think about
this show is probably the slowest burn out of any of the shows that I have here.
How long is it?
25.
Okay, 25 episodes.
25 episodes?
But it's building up to something.
Yes, and I didn't think it was. Like for about half the series, I was like, man, this is kind of starting to drag. I don't know where any of this is going. They introduce a lot of stuff that you're like, why is this even here? What was the point of this character? And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, this was like the most important shit in the entire show, and everything turned upside down, and now my mind got fucked.
All right. So it's a lot of setup from what I hear, but the payoff is definitely worth it.
It definitely is.
Is it the show?
Well, it was to me. I've seen some people who just say, well, I just thought it was boring and I didn't like it.
All right. So is it to you like the on this list the show with the best setup?
No, that's gonna go to number one.
All right.
But it is in a similar vein.
Okay.
I wish, ironically, this might be the pick where I kind of break my thing about having good characters, because I don't like a lot of them. But I think it's you turned off your camera, bro.
I'm sorry. I'm getting a phone call.
And
And also, you can see me on Zoom. What the hell?
You know what? You're right. But I'm looking at my tablet.
All right.
Because otherwise I can just see you looking to the side, and it's weird.
Do you want me to look like this?
No, I have to change, and I don't like change.
All right. Fuck change.
Scares me. We already had enough change in 2020, damn it.
Dude, way too many. Like, dude, did you remember that Australia was on fire this year?
Yeah. That's kind of funny, right?
Do you remember we almost went to war against Iran?
No, I was never too worried about that
one. I didn't say you were worried. I said, do you remember?
I do remember.
Yeah, this has been like the longest year in history.
Probably.
I mean, I'm guessing
some
of the
it doesn't help that it's also...
I think some of those WW2 years maybe were a little bit long. Or maybe those Cold War years. But, we got...
I thought you said WWE. And I was like, yeah, the early 2010s, those were rough going.
But continue. Did I tell you that we interviewed Broken Matt Hardy this morning in the show?
Broken! You saw broken brilliance.
Unfortunately, he wasn't broken.
He was normal Matt.
He was normal Matt. But still, I got to talk to him on the phone, so it was good times. It was funny because we just talked about Matt Hardy. Like, what was it, on Friday that we were driving? Friday?
I think so.
Yeah, you told me the story of him and Jericho, so it was like, oh, well, look at that. You put things out in the universe. Anyway, continue.
Did I tell you that time I met Scarlett Johansson?
What? Where?
Well, I didn't. I was just hoping it would come to reality.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You receive a text message like, "Hey, next time on the show."
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. You can keep her, by the way. I don't like her.
Okay.
Fair enough.
You think I'm gonna? Oh no!
Twist my arm, why don't you?
Fine.
Why, Scarlett? No. I was trying to mind trick you. God damn it!
I have two beautiful women that want me. They're both gorgeous and sexy.
Who's the second one?
My wallet's too small for my 50s, and my diamond shoes are too tight.
My dick doesn't fit in my pants either. Jesus Christ! What am I supposed to do?
That's one of my favorite Chandler bits of all time. My wallet's too small for my 50s, and my diamond shoes are too tight.
To me, my favorite Chandler is always and forever going to be episode 1. Ross, I just want to get married. I just want to get married. Rachel walks in a wedding dress, and Chandler, and I just want $1 million. Continue.
We will also make a top 10 Friends episode.
That is going to be hard, and I have a lot of opinions on it.
Yeah, most of them are going to be a Thanksgiving episodes anyway.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see.
We got material. Okay.
For days.
If I can do a podcast by myself every day, I think that we can riff around on stupid shit pretty easily a couple times a week.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
So, what was I speaking about?
You were talking about something
Shinsekai
about
Yori from the New World.
Bingo.
Yeah, watch it. It's more psychological. It's very dark. It goes into themes you would not expect. From an anime. There's a good amount of time skips.
Okay.
Like the show takes place over a large long period of time.
Okay.
Like the main characters start off being kids and they end up as grown-ups by the end.
All right. But is it good storytelling?
It's very good storytelling. It's a really cool world. It's a really cool plot. The characters are honestly probably the weakest part, but you do like them enough, and they are realistic for the world that they're in.
All right, fair enough.
Because it is sort of a world where they kind of look down against violence, and they're very like community oriented, but like to like a toxic degree.
Oh, it sounds like a cult.
Almost. So I'll just give like this one little detail away. So to kind of give you an example of how their society works, they have telekinesis.
Spoilers! All right, continue.
Yeah, there you go. They have telekinesis, so they can like lift things with their mind and shit, and they literally can like blow up like people.
Okay,
it's not like the type of telekinesis that like pussy shit like lifting a pencil or whatnot. It's like
deadly.
If I see you, I can like blow up your head.
Okay, that's not cool.
Like that's the reason why the world is post-apocalyptic, because people started popping up with telekinesis in like the 2010s.
It sounds like a metaphor for humans have destructive thoughts.
Maybe, but in this society, they have biologically engineered each other so that if you knowingly cause the death of somebody else, you receive what's called a death feedback, and you have a heart attack and you die.
Okay.
So it's kind of like like a thing that
if you kill, you die.
Each other.
Guys, mutually assured destruction. That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. So it's a forced peace in a way.
Yeah, mutually assured destruction. That's the best form of peace.
And it plays into the story, and most of the things that you think are just filler stuff, they play into the story, and it's really, really cool.
All right. Fair enough. Let's move on to, what is it, number 3?
Number 3, top 3. Okay. So you remember when I said I wasn't going to include movies?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm about to include 7.
You are a little shit. You're a fucking little shit.
Fuck you. We talked about this beforehand.
I know, but you need to explain it. And you never really confirmed if you were going to do it or not.
Okay. Number 3 for me is Kara no Kyokai, the Garden of Sinners.
A great fucking name. Jesus Christ.
It's great.
And
actually, it doesn't mean what the Japanese title is.
What is the Japanese title?
I think it's Beyond the Boundary.
Gay. Garden of Sinners.
Right, but it's not Garden of Sinners.
Exactly. Garden of Sinners. Exactly. Exactly. Like, you know exactly what that show is going to be about.
It's like, yo.
Gardener who kills people.
So Kara no Kyokai, the Garden of Sinners, is a series of 7 movies. And it's made by the guys who made Fate Zero and Fate Stay Night, those high budget, beautiful animation shows.
Mm-hmm.
And they made a series of 7 movies that they adapted of the, I think, light novels.
Okay.
And they do tell like a single story, but each movie is kind of its own standalone.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the shortest movie is like 45 minutes, and the longest one, which is the last one, is like hour 30.
All right.
So at the end, you do get what would be like the runtime of an average anime.
And
It's just told through really long episodes, you could say.
and to me,
and it's out of order.
interesting.
The movies are out of order.
Chronologically.
Yes, the first movie is chronologically, I think, the fourth.
And is that how you're supposed to see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it's cool to go back and watch it chronologically.
All right, that makes sense. So, but before we just to clarify this, because we did talk about it off the air. The reason why you kept it as a show is because the movies, it's 7 movies, but they came out within a 1 or 2 year span, so they were very close
I think
together.
They all came out in 2007.
Yeah, so they came out in 1 year. They were close enough together, and overall, it's the length of a full anime series. So that's why you kept it as a show and not a movie.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. The actual translation is Boundary of Emptiness.
That's even worse. Garden of Sinners is better. Anyway,
It is better. It's cool.
What makes it special?
First off, I love the main protagonist so much.
Male or female?
Female, and I actually named my dog after her.
Really?
God rest her soul. Yeah, Shiki. That's where I got the name.
Interesting. What's the show about?
It's okay. It's essentially about a small group of supernatural detectives.
Okay.
Like they have a small agency and they deal with supernatural events happening in different parts of Japan. I don't think I need to get too deep into the story of it. I mean,
No, just supernatural detectives is enough.
yeah, and the main girl, Shiki, she has this power where she can kind of see what they call I think lines of death or something. So she can, it's like the skill in Saint Seiya where he can kind of see like weak points and shit.
Okay. I okay.
Yeah, so she can like kill things in like a cellular level almost.
Damn.
It's kind of weird, but it's got awesome animation and one of my favorite soundtracks ever. Actually, the previous anime also, Shinsekai Yori, has a top tier soundtrack as well.
All right. I remember one of the shows that you gave me, you were ranting on and on about the soundtrack. I don't remember which one.
Most of my favorite shows also have some of my favorite soundtracks.
But no, like the best use of soundtrack you've ever seen.
Anohana.
Anohana?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And to me it was because of the duality of the childish glee and the more modern melancholy reality.
Yeah, I can see that.
The way they use it. They're not my favorite songs overall, but the way it's used is my favorite.
Yeah, it hits every emotion it's meant to hit.
Yes. Like when you're in one of the childhood scenes, it's like you do get like a feeling of nostalgia almost. Like everything's cool, everything's innocent, and then like a little kid dies. You know?
It's like they just keep reminding you, dude, that smile is brutal. It's brutal.
Yeah.
And anyway, continue.
Okay. So yeah, that's my number 3 pick.
Number 3?
I guess
Top
it's a little
2.
it's a little bit of a cheat, I suppose, because it's a series of movies, but by the end you think to yourself, man, that was a great anime. You don't think of like the movies in particular.
It's your list. You can do whatever you want, man.
All right. Number 2 is probably going to be the most controversial pick.
Number 2. Okay. Shoot.
It's called K-On! K-On!
K-A-O-N.
No. K, like the letter K, and then the word on.
Okay. I remember you talking about this one. Please explain what it's about.
It's a slice of life show about 4 high school girls who make a light music club.
And why is it number 2?
I'll tell you why it's number 2. First off, when did I watch it? I watched it in probably the best time, which was high school.
By the way, K-On! Is on Netflix.
Yeah. In high school, I also played in a band, and we also sucked.
All right.
So this sort of stuff, it's a relatable thing. The main character is a klutzy idiot who is very lovable.
Okay.
Which, I mean, come on.
You're more like a snarky a-hole, but okay.
Don't worry, there's another. You got your characters in there.
Okay, there's a variety. Okay.
Yeah, and this is the reason I legitimately came to this realization as I was making this list, because I was gonna put it originally at like number 9, 8, somewhere along those, because overall it doesn't have much of a plot. It's the daily life of 4 high school girls who are in a like music club, and they spend all their day drinking tea and eating like cake.
It's the Seinfeld of anime.
Kinda, I guess. And to me, I was originally like, what is, like, why am I even watching this thing? And why have I watched it 5 times already? And I'll tell you why.
Yes.
And this is what I came to the realization. The most important thing in stories are characters.
Yep. I agree with that.
This is the show that made me realize you can have the coolest plot. You could have the best soundtrack, the most amazing animation. You can have like a super in-depth world and lots of rich history behind it. But if the main characters that I'm following through your story suck, I'm not going to care.
Yeah.
I'm not going to care what happens to them. I'm not going to care if they succeed or not. This is what happened to me with the new Star Wars movies. I honestly didn't care if the rebels won against the First Order. I didn't give a shit. Honestly, I was sadder that Kylo Ren died. Spoilers.
Yeah. In the battle of character versus setting, it hurts to say sometimes, but pretty much in the battle of everything, character always wins. And that's why you have characters that are larger than life. For example, Mr. Bean can be doing fucking anything, and you'll watch him do it. Superman, larger than life. The Seinfeld character, larger than life. Character always wins. There's few exceptions where the setting is so... For example, Game of Thrones, where you can follow around different characters and it really doesn't matter.
But the characters themselves are awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's complementary.
Or they are at least surrounded by other awesome characters.
Yeah, it's complementary football, you know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
if you have to pick, one thing is more important than the other.
Yes, and this K-On! Is the show that made me realize this, because there's an entire episode that is... Okay, it's the girls, they're trying to form their band, and I guess spoilers, the main girl doesn't have a guitar. Hell, she doesn't know how to play a guitar.
What?
But she wants to be in a band.
Uh-huh.
So she wants to get a guitar. And they go to a music store to look at guitars.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, "Ooh, I love this guitar." And obviously it's the most expensive fucking guitar. And she's like, "But I love it." And they're all like,
"A girl wants the most expensive thing? No way."
Yeah. And they're all like, "But you can't have it. We don't have money." And she's like, "You're right. We got to get a job." So the 4 of them start doing this like part-time job where they have to press a button every time a car goes by a street. And it's like a traffic meter, like, it's like for the city or the census or something.
Uh-huh.
It's like a shitty paying job, and each one of them is just pressing a button every time a car goes by.
Uh-huh.
And you just see them interact with one another, and they're like, one of them is falling asleep, so they're like, messing with her and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about and that's a fucking episode. That is the fucking episode.
The worst job ever. But
yes.
It's fun because they're together.
It's fun because you're seeing their interactions, and it feels very organic. And also it has a fun payoff at the end.
All right.
So you don't feel like it was like a waste of time. You actually feel like you had fun along the way.
All right. So it's an enjoyable adventure where you follow a bunch of teenage girls.
Hell yeah.
All right. Again,
also,
I'm going to watch this again, and we will discuss who's the best girl.
There's not a doubt in my fucking mind who's the best girl in this one. But I think we are going to disagree.
Of course we will. We have very different tastes.
But
I have better ones.
all of the girls are so good. I respect any choice.
Okay. All right. I don't think I've ever heard you say that before.
Yeah. Honestly, any choice, I'm like, you know what? I see it.
I respect
Yep.
that. I respect that. All right. And now, number one. And
Numero uno.
we're just over the hour mark, by the way.
We've done worse.
I know. I lived it.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue.
Number one, my favorite anime show of all time, Steins Gate.
Steins Gate.
Or I guess Steins semicolon Gate.
Sure. What's it about?
I should have looked this up beforehand.
You are so fucking unprofessional. I've been, covering your ass and doing filler this whole time, and you still could not have taken a second. Like, I haven't seen the show.
Keep talking.
And that's what I'm doing. I haven't seen the show, and I could have actually kind of explained what it's about based on how many times you've actually told me about it, because I haven't seen it. And let me see if I get it. It's about a group of dudes who make like a time machine microwave, but they can only send messages through time. So they send messages to themselves in the past, and that changes things in the future. Am I close?
You kind of right, yeah. It's
See, and I haven't even seen the fucking show. It's not that hard. You just simplify the themes.
Look, I play a lot of D&D.
What?
And
I can't wait for this segue. I can't wait for this explanation.
This will connect to that.
All right.
I play a lot of D&D, and I'm usually the dungeon master.
Uh-huh.
Who tells the story and whatnot. So you would think I'm much better at improvising than I am. But in reality, I just take so many fucking notes.
Well, in reality, your notes suck because you weren't prepared for this.
Well, I didn't know I was gonna have to explain. I thought I was just gonna, hey, these are my top 10. Go watch them. And,
go watch them. You need to fucking sell your shows. You
wanted a short episode, right? Here's your short fucking episode.
You need to give them a reason to watch. You need to tell them at least what's about.
I thought that's what you were here for. You were telling me like, hey,
I haven't seen those fucking shows.
Well, I thought that's what you were doing.
I'm trying to keep you in line. You know what? When I do my list, you're gonna be like, man, that's a fucking professional right there.
I don't know about that.
All right, fine. Explain it. What's Steins Gate about?
Steins Gate, according to IMDb, the Internet Movie Database. After discovering time travel, a university student and his colleagues must use their knowledge of it to stop an evil organization and its diabolical plans. So, you're kind of on the money. It's about this group of
nerds,
yeah, who
nerds.
They're obsessed with time travel,
of course.
And the main character is so fucking lovable.
Male or female?
Male.
Homo.
Big. Dude, next time we see each other, and if you saw this show already, you're gonna tell me, dude, the main character is so fucking lovable.
Okay, that's exactly.
Those are gonna be your words.
Those are gonna be the words that come out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Just like with Anohana, my words were "fuck you" for putting it in my path.
Hell yeah.
Continue.
Yeah, they're obsessed with time travel and like conspiracy theories and whatnot, and they managed to create a microwave that can sort of send like things back to the past, kind of, but doesn't really work. And then it turns more into like they can send text messages to the past, but they can also receive them from the future, which sort of tells them like things that are going to happen and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. It
gets very much into like time travel shenanigans in the sense of different timelines converging, and
it's a mindfuck.
Kind of. But is similar to Shinsekai Yori, where
what the hell? That's the one with garden sinners?
No, telekinesis.
Okay, all right.
It's similar to that show where you might be the first half of the show. You might be like, what is even the point of this? Because it is a visual novel. It's, in the visual novel, you can end up with any of the girls.
Uh-huh.
And in the show, you're like, oh, what is even the point of what's happening? By the second half, shit starts going down, and you realize it's kind of pulling like a boomerang thing, where it all goes back to the very beginning.
The beginning is the end of the beginning?
Yeah, you have to, it's like a story that gets to a point, and then you have to unravel it backwards, and then you have to try to find a way to fix it from the beginning.
Okay.
It's not as complicated as I'm making it out to be, but I'm trying to avoid spoilers.
All right.
So again, this follows my cardinal rule, I suppose. Character. Every one of the main characters, love them to death. The main girls, awesome. Even the sidekick friend, lovable.
Yeah, and usually in anime, the main character is kind of lame as fuck. They're just
main
vanilla.
character, Steins Gate, is awesome.
All right, your man crush over there.
He is hilarious because he's kind of a freak. He's like Broken Matt Hardy.
Broken Matt Hardy.
He literally has like a crazy mad scientist persona.
That's awesome. That actually sounds like a lot of fun.
So it's one of those things where you want to see him succeed. You want to see this thing get fixed. And it goes all the way to the wire.
Okay. All right. So your favorite series, anime series of all time, Steins Gate. Because you're in love with the dude.
Yes, I love the dude. Eric 2020.
Eric 2020. The dude.
Also, not a doubt in my mind who the best girl is.
Really? All right, we'll debate that again. I'm going to watch every single one of these, and then I'm going to judge you for it. Because you left out major fucking titles out there that I'm shocked. I'm surprised that you didn't touch some of them. And you just...
I might have just forgotten about them.
Yeah, you really suck at that. Like,
I could give you my honorable mentions.
When you wrote... How many are they?
I just go quickly through. Like, Bacano, the one I recommended to you. It's like a Tarantino film, but in anime. Made in Abyss, which is about like two adventurers who go down into like an abyss. it's hard to explain, but it's an adventure anime, and it's pretty
like,
dark.
It's like a big hole, almost like an abyss.
It is. There's a big hole.
All right,
they go down it, and it's like an adventure anime, like a lot of world building, and it's really awesome. The problem is just it's really short, and it only continues in the manga.
Okay.
Spice and Wolf. It's about a
cooking wolf.
No.
Oh.
It's a medieval romance show between a merchant and a wolf lady who is a goddess. Okay. And it's a show about economics.
It's like you just picked 17 random words and made a sentence.
It is so amazing.
Spice
the only reason it didn't make the list is because it doesn't
not enough bestiality.
Not enough, yeah. She's naked a lot.
What?
She's naked all the damn time.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't have an ending. That's the problem. It continues on light novels. The light novels are awesome. I recommend them.
Okay.
Madoka Magica. It's about magical girls, or I guess it's called Maho Shoujo Madoka Magica.
Okay.
Magical girl. It's a magical girl show, a la shows like Sailor Moon or Cardcaptor Sakura, with a little bit of a dark twist.
All right.
Psychopaths, Minority Report, the anime. Yeah.
No, there you go. See, straight to the point. Nice and clean.
The World God Only Knows.
Great title.
Yes. It's about a guy who plays a lot of dating sims.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like the like a master at them, you know? He can get any virtual girl he wants.
Okay.
And then an angel comes down, and she like has it's hard to explain. Basically, like, these high school girls are getting like possessed by evil demons, and the only way to get rid of these demons and exorcise them is by making them fall in love. And so this stupid angel comes down and meets this guy who's really good at dating sims. So she's like, aha, I'm going to use this guy to have him fall in love with all these girls, or have them fall in love with him, so that he, I can exercise them, because she thinks that dating sims are like the same thing as me hooking up with real women.
That sounds awesome. It's
it
a
is
harem.
awesome.
It's clearly a harem, right?
Yeah, it's a harem comedy thing, kind of supernatural.
Uh-huh.
The main character is awesome, yet again. The only problem is that it's kind of weird, because the first 2 seasons exist, and then there's like a half a season that you kind of have to follow in like the manga, and then they skip towards the 3rd season, which should be technically the 4th season, and then it kind of ends.
That just sounds like
they didn't adapt
production.
a part of the story, and then you miss out on like a couple of character introductions, and some things don't make sense.
All right.
And the rest of there's also Rainbow, which the full title is Rainbow Nishakubo no shi. It's called Rainbow.
All right. Well, again, you're mentioning a whole bunch of titles that are really unknowns. I'm shocked. For example, I'm shocked that you didn't put Yu-Gi-Oh in there somewhere, because you love the fucking card game. Like, you still play.
Yeah, but the anime fucking sucks.
I don't know. I mean, like, I was shocked. I thought when you said the number 2 was gonna be maybe controversial, I thought, he's gonna fucking put Yu-Gi-Oh in there. Like, that's what I thought. Honestly,
no,
I didn't know that. Like,
you want to know how much I like K-On? This is gonna suck for the listeners.
What?
This is my mat.
Those are the girls. Really?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, you know what? I respect that, especially because I thought you had Ray as your mat.
No, that's I have it in the other office.
But you do have Ray as a mat.
I do.
Okay. All right.
Because that's pretty much what she is the entire show.
Oh, and that's your best girl from there. Jesus Christ.
Hey, I love her, but I mean, you got to be honest, right?
Listen, you just revealed a lot.
That's right, man.
All right. So I think that's it for today. Thursday, are we going to do your movie one? Or are we going to do mine? Keep it fresh.
I mean, I can start working on my movie one, but if you want, we can do yours, and then
have it ready. Just in case.
How about this? You make your list, and then like I'll watch the ones that the ones in your list that I haven't watched. And I mean, then we can in 2 weeks we can like judge each other's lists.
Sure, because I got a lot of things to go through. A lot.
Hell yeah.
A lot of fucking stuff to go through.
I mean, the longest show I put,
Clanad?
I think it was Code Geass at 54.
Isn't like K-On like 3 seasons?
No, it's 25 episodes and a movie which you don't have to watch, but it's excellent.
It is adorable.
It's the best thing you ever seen in your fucking life.
All right, so that's it. That's Eric's favorite anime shows of all time.
Top 10 favorite.
I will go through every single one of those, and then we will come back to judge you. Any comments, questions, or suggestions?
I love being judged on the internet.
You can find me at Dario the Show on Instagram or at SuperDark_World. You can find Eric somewhere in the internet. I have no idea where, but
I'll link you everybody once I finish my album.
There you go. Also, follow our Facebook page, Super Dario World. I update everything there. I put links to every episode there, so you can find it. This podcast and the Super Dario World podcast. As always, thank you for listening, and we'll see you again next time.
Bye.